So let me see. What I've heard from various people is that these so-called assault rifles is something that people don't need for self-defense and things of that nature. So if that is true and those guns are only good for the battlefield, then why do our police carry them? That would be a question that I would like to get to the bottom of. If they can only be used for bad, then why do our police have them? And I think the answer is, people actually do need assault rifles because, a lot of people under stress, basically what happens is when somebody's shooting at you and you're shooting back, you miss a lot. That's just if you look at police shootouts and things like that, for every 10 rounds fired, they finally hit somebody. Finally hit somebody. So the actual successful bullet placement rate is very, very low in a real shootout because somebody's shooting at you. It's hard to aim properly. So the idea that you don't need a 30-round clip to defend your life with is just ludicrous, and it's based on I would say two things. One is just based on total ignorance about fighting. The other thing that it's based on is maybe they theorize that your opponent is a guy with a gun. Whereas reality it may be more than one person with a gun. What if 3 people are doing a home invasion and they all got guns? I mean, you're going to tell me now that a 10-round magazine is enough for me? I think you're totally wrong. And that also necessitates a magazine change. So yeah, I think you need more bullets. These days it's getting to where an average police officer has a gun on his hip that holds about, 15 rounds, maybe more, maybe a little bit less. So he's packing a gun on his hip that holds 15 rounds, okay? And he's got a so-called assault rifle in his trunk that holds, 30. So, to say that police need these type of guns to protect honest citizens, and then turning around and saying that honest citizens don't need these same type of guns to be able to protect themselves, that doesn't make logical sense. I mean, if the cops need these types of guns to fight the bad guys, then the good guys, the citizens would need the same type of guns to fight the bad guys. If it takes a certain type of gun to fight a bad guy with, then it doesn't matter who is using the gun to fight the bad guy. They obviously need the same type of gun. And cops are the same thing as an honest citizen, really, because the year before he belonged to the police force, okay, he's still the same guy. After he leaves the police force and he's a citizen, so there's really no difference between a cop and an honest citizen. And actually, if you look at shooting competitions and things of that nature, some of the best shooters in the world are neither soldiers nor policemen. So they're just ordinary citizens. They just know how to shoot well. All right, so the idea that you don't need an assault rifle is patently false. The reason why you would want a pistol is because, if you're walking around outside of your home, you're going to the store, you're getting groceries, you're going to the bank, Well, I mean, people look at you funny when you walk around with a rifle. So what you do is you wear a pistol that you can easily conceal on your person, and that's really the only reason to have a pistol, is to be able to conceal it. So if you're at home and you want to defend yourself, then a rifle is actually the proper option if you're somebody who understands guns. And that's the problem with people who want to outlaw guns, and a lot of reporters, they don't know guns, so they do not know what they're talking about. They absolutely do not know what they're talking about. I mean, when I hear reporters talk about guns, half the time it's like listening to a virgin talk about sex. They absolutely have no clue what they're talking about. The words that come out of their mouth and what they're saying, it's just obvious they don't know what they're talking about. No idea. So, if you want to understand guns, talk to somebody who knows guns. And like I said, the police departments, they're carrying, almost all of them are carrying guns that hold more than 10 bullets. Why? Because that is reality. You need more than 10 bullets. And a lot of times they get into these gunfights with bad guys and they have to reload. So even with 15 rounds, they still need to reload. So anyway, and the other thing is, what is an assault rifle? Assault rifle, I think, is some kind of invented word more than anything, just to rile people up and make them think that it's something that we don't need. And sometimes I use the language too, assault rifle. If you say assault rifle, I think about the civilian version of the AK-47 type gun, or the civilian version of the AR-15. The AR-15, which is the civilian version of the M16. In reality, the real idea behind an assault weapon is that an assault weapon is fully automatic. It's basically like a machine gun. The weapons that they're calling assault rifles now they're not machine guns. You have to pull the trigger and release it every time you want to shoot a bullet. On a machine gun, you can pull the trigger, and as long as you hold the trigger back, it keeps shooting bullets. So basically, what they're referring to, assault rifles are not assault rifles. What they are is semi-automatic rifles. And the evolution in guns from revolvers and pump action and bolt action and stuff like that to semi-automatic, that's old news. The guns made that transition a long time ago. In World War II, we were using semi-automatic and fully automatic weapons, from the pistols to the carbines to the rifles. Basically everything. They didn't have, much, if anything at all, that wasn't semi-automatic. So, this was already standard in the 40s. So, if you take just about any rifle, you make it semi-automatic, and they talk about detachable magazines and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know. They're out of touch with reality, and they're not going to stop the bad guys from having those kinds of weapons. As we've seen with the war on drugs, you can still buy drugs. They're out there. It's just that they're the average honest citizen doesn't know where to buy drugs. And this is an important part to think about. The